say you want to, are you also ready to be sincere totally? Because not that the lady is here and you are away doing whatever you want to do. It's not that it can't work. It can work for some, but you have to be ready to work it out. So readiness is paramount when it comes to relationship. When you're saying ready, doesn't mean you have found the person. No, but you have to be ready to take the step. You have to be ready to play it right. There are a lot of toxic relationships in town, but you have to be ready to have a healthy one. And how do you have a healthy one? By being sincere to yourself. Not that you see that it's not going to work with this guy and you're pushing yourself in. Definitely it won't work. If you're not going to find a guy, you are the one to look. So you have to be very careful. Because if you go find him with just your eyes, not your head and your mind, and your plans in place, you hit the road and you have to start coming back. It's not only babes that have broken relationship or cry over being dumped. Guys do also get dumped. Because when the lady waits after a while, what she's supposed to hear, she's not hearing. What is supposed to come forth is not coming forth. And another guy shows up. She might not wait any longer. She will decide to go. And if the next one talks about commitment. I just want to talk about these 3 stages, because we might have some questions that we still have to handle other aspects of it. We talked about readiness, then going to commitment. And ladies, I want to let you know something. That let me just throw in this problem. If you get the milk from the cow, you will not be ready to go for the cow any longer. So don't make yourself too cheap to be gotten. Because the moment you're gotten easily, he might think, will this one stay? What will happen when we finally get married? I know of men that judge women just because of some things that happen before they got married. Your values has to be in place. Your confidence has to be in place. We're not talking about being nasty, no. Your attitude has to be in place. The right attitude matters. Don't look at a guy and snub him now, because tomorrow you might see that same guy drive by and you're like, oh, had I known. I don't believe in looking down on any. Rather, you see, work things out. What are his potentials? What are the things he can do? I don't believe that there's any man that doesn't have anything. Every man was once made by someone. And most times, we ladies make this mistake of looking for Mr. Perfect. No, why don't you look for that imperfect guy that you can actually work things out? And that doesn't mean our guys should just be there, not doing anything, waiting for the perfect lady to work things out with them. So when we talk about commitment, you might not have it handy, but you can have it. You can be committed with your mind, and with readiness and commitment, you can work things out. And what started as a game can end as a blissful marriage. So I want to pause here.
Thank you very much, Anna. She does give you a summary of how our own relationship went. You guys needed to have seen me 20 years ago when I met her. I was looking very funny. Very funny in the sense that very imperfect. I was a raw material. I was a raw material, yeah, and a very nasty one at that one. I met her and she had to tell me, she told me 3 things. She said, my late sister told her, I heard my brother is talking to you. We used to use the word chike those days. I hear he's chiking you. And she said yes, they were in the same choir. And she told him, said, see, that's my brother. He did my eyes well. 1, that's my brother, he did drink. 3, that's my brother. He has some friends that I suspect they are cultists. Then he's still in school. So if you want to have anything to do with him, you have to have a talk with him. That's the direction. I don't know why we don't do that these days again. I met her the first time, and the next time we're meeting, she was like, I got this information about you. And if you intend to settle with me, like you're saying, you have to stop drinking. I thought about it. I said, drinking. Wow. With the kind of friends I had then, I said, no problem, we'll do one. Then number two, I learned that most of those young ladies that come around you, they are not actually cousins. Because my dad just retired then from the military and we relocated back to Akwa Ibom. So you know that kind of, that feel in Barak where we just, got back and a lot of people were around us. So I gave her the impression most of them were my cousins. She said, I know that most of them are not your cousins. So you have to cut down on that relationship. I thought about it. I said, wow, what are the gains? I said, no problem, good one. She said, number three. I said, number three, day. He said, I learned those your friends that come around. Because I was already out of uni then, at home. So the school in Uyo, University of Uyo, the Polytechnic, most of the boys they were always coming around, we just say, that kind of thing. Someone coming from B-side, that kind of thing. We used to call Benin then B-side. I don't know what they call it now. So I said, okay, but that one, we are going to negotiate. I can't just stop these friends like that at once. I will stop from you yourself, you know yourself, and you know the ones that are really good. If you want to be sincere with yourself, you know the friends that are really good. You know those ones that can lure you into what you're not supposed to get into. I'm giving you real life experience. Like I told the MC yesterday, this is a real life event, and we're sharing real life experience so that you can go back with those takeaways on how to make your own relationship work. It's not just jumping into a relationship and jumping out. Our passion is to see relationships work. We have a platform on Facebook called Blessing Christopher Love Ship. We also have an Facebook, that's for married couples, and also have a blog, a radio blog that we do also. So our passion is to see relationships work. And we have come to realize that these are two individuals coming from two different backgrounds, two imperfect individuals. We all have our baggages. I don't know what you mean. Nobody is Mr. Good or Mr. Right. We all have our family baggages, individual baggages. If we want to put them here now on a scale, it will be reading overweight. So these are two imperfect people coming together. So you should be ready to work it out, just like she just told you now. So, like for our own experience, when she gave me these conditions, what did I do? I saw that I was ready, and I could meet to those terms, and she stuck to it. There was a day she came, and she just entered the house. She said, "I can perceive alcohol." No, my friend just drank it. He said, "No, it's smelling from you now." As a guy, you want to make excuses. I'm talking about way back 2000, that was like 21 years ago. It's my friend that drank it. I said, no, it's coming from me, I'm going on. She just talked about that. I escorted her that day. That was all I did that day. No gisting, just escort back to the house, and I came back and I told myself that if I want this thing to work, I have to make this commitment. That's the area of commitment she just talked about. I have to make this commitment to make this thing work. Now, as a young man, I had a vision. I had the picture of the woman I wanted. My wife wasn't looking like this when I met her. We were working in process, and we processed, and we are not yet finished product, and we are still going through the process. Now, what happened? Commitment, perseverance, and a forgiving heart. My past, and she also had her past. And we had to compare notes. We compared notes. See, relationship is not about sweating. You know what I mean by sweating? It's not about sweating. I'm telling you, it's not all about that. It should be that place where you can have someone to communicate with, someone to share your inner fears. Well, we all have those inner fears. I don't know what your inner fear is. You might be a Superman, you might be a Superwoman, but there's a kryptonite that when you see, you shrink. Huh? And how many of us they watch Superman? Maybe for those who they watch